Spider-Man 3 is one of the best looking Spider-Man movies ever made. And as you all know, looks aren't the only thing that you only aren't the all there is to make a good movie. All you can have to make a good movie. Looks alone don't make a good movie. This is a very case in point. This is a very good case of that. There was a lot of good stuff, cool, good stuff going on in there. There's a lot of annoying stuff going on in there. Number one, why is Sandman in this movie? When I first heard Sandman was going to be in the Sandman was going to be in this movie, I was like, what? Huh? It's like, huh? What? Eventually, it started to make sense to me, though. Well, after thinking about it, it started to make sense to me, though. He was in there so they could have a giant action, giant fight, fight against a giant monster thing, like they've done in almost every other superhero movie in the past few years. At least Iron Man, at least. Was the first, unlike on the first Iron Man. Anyway, at first I was thinking, why do they need Sandman when they can have Venom? Is it Venom enough? But then I realized that they needed to make it so that it was totally impossible for Spider-Man to win this thing, and he'd have to ask Harry for help. So Harry for help, and they could team up and take him down together. And that's cool. Problem is, that's cool. Take down Sandman and Venom together. Problem is, they kind of marginalized Venom, really marginalized him. I mean, basically, basically, without that scene of Eddie Brock hanging out at home or about to go to work for his first day as the Daily Bugle or whatever, first day of Daily Bugle, and being like yelled at by his getting yelled at by his father or something like that for not meeting his expectations or whatever. You basically reduced him to a mindless monster. Don't get me wrong, Venom was a monster, but he wasn't mindless. He wasn't mindless. He had motive. He had a lot of motive, and it wasn't just and Peter's made me lose a job and a girl that was only slightly interested in me. No, there had to be there had to be more than that, but we were never really told what that is. Well, that's really annoying. Now, if we got rid of at least one scene with the Sandman and replaced it with a Eddie Brock scene, it would have been way better. That one scene in particular, basically the first scene, you did not need to see him, actually talk to his daughter and get kicked out by his wife, because the stuff that happens later actually fills us in on this. We find out what's going on here. You could actually add a little bit of that in post or whatever. You could do that, and then we have one scene with Eddie Brock hanging out and stuff like that. And now people may say that Spider-Man 3 had too many villains in it. The problem is, of course, it was supposed to be basically like the world was crashing in around him. Okay, he had the guy who killed Uncle Ben. The guy who really killed Uncle Ben was still at large, and the guy who and this loser is trying to take his job at the Bugle, and different things like that going on. Different things like that going on. So he's going to have problems with his girlfriend and everything. It's supposed to be things like that, And finally, yes, and also, of course, Harry Osborn starts fighting him. Finally figures out what's going on and starts fighting him. Okay, we've been waiting for this for like a whole entire movie. We've been waiting for this for like a whole entire movie. At the end of Spider-Man 1, I watched that before I watched this one. I watched that one right before I watched this one. At the ending of Spider-Man 1, Harry Osborn's like, Spider-Man's going to pay for what he's done to my father. And then he got Spider-Man 3, and he's like, yeah, now, I've seen Spider-Man 2. I actually own Spider-Man 2. So basically, he's like, okay, now you have this guy. Now we finally get to the fight where Harry is fighting Peter, as a goblin who needed a mask with a mouth on it. He should have had at least a little mouth, like a little Mortal Kombat 1 mouth would have been fine. I would have liked that, at least a little mouth, because Venom's supposed to have a giant mouth. So maybe give him a little mouth to have a little goblinness to it. That would have been better, because he had no mouth. What the heck was that? How is he related to the goblins other than the fact he's Harry Osborn? You don't know. That was annoying. Anyway. So after that fight, was one of the best parts of the movie. It was amazing. It was wonderful. Of course, it was annoyingly computer generated and stuff as well. But still, it was the fight we've been waiting for like at least one movie, at least the whole movie. So basically, we finally got that fight, and it works pretty well. And then unfortunately, it comes to a crashing halt when Harry is knocked unconscious. Harry is freaking knocked unconscious. Okay. He's not unconscious and wakes up with amnesia. Now, the amnesia plot annoyed me for, and still kind of does, but to me, but then I realize now that it's basically the only way he can get close enough to MJ to actually be a problem for him in the third act when he finally was like, hey, I've realized what's going on. I got my memory back. I got my memory back. I'm evil again. Whatever. And then it's like, yeah, it should have been more of a love-hate relationship. Then they fight. Yeah, then they fight again. And then Harry and Peter fight again. This time it's with black suit Spider-Man. So basically, Peter's kind of turning evil a little bit. Is having problems. Is turning evil. Peter's kind of being all psycho. What? Oh, great. Might have gone off somewhere. Peter's going off. Basically, his dark side is being exposed, and Harry's, of course, dark side is already exposed. So then they're fighting, and Peter defeats Harry. Peter then defeats Harry. Throws a pumpkin. Harry throws a pumpkin bomb at him, out of spite, and Peter, instead of like dodging it like he would normally, he would dodge it, and it would explode, and he'd leave. He grabs it and throws it back at him. He grabs it and throws it back at him, and it blows up like 5 inches away from his face. Okay. Then later he realizes, then things just get even worse, and things get continue to get worse for Peter when he realizes that. And then he like accidentally lashes out at physically lashes out at Mary Jane. He realizes this is something's up here. The suit it's the suit. I thought the suit could help me, but it's hurting me. It's hurting me. It's making me do things I would never normally do. I gotta get rid of it. I gotta get rid of this thing. So he gets rid of it. And Eddie Brock, after getting fired and stuff, comes to the church and prays for God to kill Peter, and that's kind of is okay with me, because basically it's him saying, hey, this guy messed me up. This guy exposed me, when I was trying to get ahead by cheating. I don't like this guy for that reason. And then he took the girl I was only vaguely interested in. Why? But and I would like to add, now he's proving now I can't go home now because my dad will think of me as a has-been. Say I told you. Dad'll say I told you so. He's not worth any. He's worth. He's a has-been. He's a. You ain't gonna amount to nothing. He said, "That's my dad keeps saying that." So I can't go home. What do I do? God help me, Jesus! Help me do something and figure this out. What do I do? Then he hears the bell. Then he hears the bell, and the bell is hurting the symbiote, the black suit. So it comes off Peter, and then it gets on to then he gets on to Eddie Brock, and he becomes Venom. All right, now that's awesome. That was amazing. Problem is, then you have there's certain things that should have been done better with him, with Venom. First of all, Venom, as far as I know, I don't know if he, in the comics, in the Fox Kids series, that was pretty good, if you ask me. He never shrieked. Venom, to me, was more like an Urukai type of guy. Urukai, yeah, big, strong, muscly guy who like roars, kind of, like he's not very. The Urukai did at least one shriek when he got killed, but it was like not very often, not very often. So I would have liked it more of a giant. So you have like a giant muscly type of guy, type of Venom, instead of but voiced by Topher, that'd be fine. But the sounds would be like a more bass, guttural type of animalistic type of thing instead of the shrieking, because it just was annoying. And then of course the mouth was a digital mouth. The issue with the digital mouth is that there was no basis for this. If they had basically the creepiest villain, the creepiest thing in my opinion, the creepiest Spider-Man villain, all right, was the Green Goblin, because his mouth was practical. All right, it was a plastic mouth that never moved. Okay, never moved. It was a plastic mouth that was open. It was a plastic face. Okay, that has a mouth that never moved, and it was the creepiest thing ever because it was real. Okay, if they had at least gave him like a helmet. If they gave him like a Venom helmet, okay, so is that a practical effect? So you can have a shape to work off of. That would have been a lot better. I would really like that. I would have really liked that a lot. Also, we see here, and basically this one guy, some random guy, basically was making fun of Yeah, he was making fun of Drag Me to Hell by using and making Marvel tie-ins, movie tie-ins by basically saying it's called it Drag Me Off Screen. So basically, when you only have 2 hours, there's some things just need to be cut. He's like, oh, Vinny's like, oh, say hello and goodbye to Vinny. I was like, this is so bad. Oh, it's like one fight scene, that's it. Venom's like one fight scene. Like just like Venom, like one fight scene, that's it. So it was really funny. It was really funny when he did that. But he actually had at least maybe 2 fight scenes. He had 2 fight scenes. He had one fight scene where he was totally beating Spider-Man up, no problem. And then he had then the Sandman was crushing him. That they had that scene, was smashing him with his fist. They had that scene. Then they had the scene where he was totally beating up Spider-Man again. Then Harry intervened and got killed. And then Harry intervened and got killed. And then Spider-Man beat up Venom. Okay, here's the big deal. Okay, I am not a big fan. Basically this goes back a long way. This whole killing villains during your movie thing. All right, killing villains during your movie thing has gone back a long way. Batman. I think Batman, the Tim. What's it called? No, what's his name? Not Tim Curry. No. Night Before Christmas. Come on. Well, whatever that guy's name was, with the awesome, cool, creepy stuff he had. What's his name? Creepy? No, not Tim. Is it Tim? Tim Burton. Tim Burton. It's Tim. Tim Burton Batman. The original Batman movie from 1991. That thing killed off the Joker. Okay, dude's dead. He ain't ever coming back, according to that legend. Okay, he gone. Dude fell from a building. Batman hit him with a grappling hook that was attached to a gargoyle. Okay. So then the guy, couldn't get on his helicopter, couldn't escape from the helicopter, and he fell to his death and died. Yuck. Get over that, man. What's wrong with you? No, come on. Look at that. You're all over the place. Gross. Yeah. Oh, those are my things. Those are my jackets. Yeah. All right, we can wash those. It's no problem. I know that don't work. Anyway. You feel better, I hope. Yeah, I feel better. All right. Anyway, he died. All right. That tradition continued. Dr. Octopus died, quote unquote. There's no way he could survive that. He doesn't have any breathing powers. Dr. Doom looked like he died. No, he did not die. Dr. Doom did not die. First of all, he still has superpowers. Second of all, he has superpowers. Second of all, he has a giant iron costume. He's made of iron. Okay, the dude's made of steel. All right, so getting hit by an I-beam will not really hurt him. Okay, and of course he had a mask on, so that could have a rebreather in it, so he can still be alive. So that's cool. Venom, on the other hand, as well, did not die from that. Okay, no matter what anybody says. Okay, if Sam Raimi comes to me and says that Venom died, no, he did not. I will say no, he didn't. Okay, because here's the deal: 2 other people got hit by pumpkin bombs. All right. 2 other people got hit by pumpkin bombs. Peter Parker got hit by a pumpkin bomb. Green Goblin threw a bomb between, punched Peter Parker or kicked him against the wall, right? Then threw a pumpkin bomb at him, and it blew up, a foot away from his face. Okay, all it did was tear off his mask. He still had enough. The Peter Parker was still able to stand up and punch the Green Goblin into submission. Okay, after hearing he's going to kill him, he's going to torture and kill MJ. So he's like, yeah. After hearing he was going to torture and kill MJ. So yeah, he survived that. All right. Then Harry got hit by another pumpkin bomb that was, like 5 inches away from his face. His face was burned. Half his face was burned, so he was like Two-Face. But he was still able to, suit up and beat up on Sandman and Venom and all that stuff. He was still able to do all that. Okay? And neither of them had a protective symbiote surrounding. No, Venom's okay. Venom is alive. All right, and the Sandman. Yeah, the thing is, the the Sandman, after explaining this thing, it's like, oh, I guess I'm sorry, I did not want this, so I'm gonna leave. See ya. He escaped. He didn't. No, he turned good, I guess. But he didn't go to jail. That would have been better if he's like, okay, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. Okay, I'll do it. I'll go to jail. I'll pay for what I've done. I'll go to jail. No, he turned into sand that was light enough to float away on the breeze, and he flew it away. Sure, it made for a nice visual, but he escaped. Basically, it's him escaping. What's he gonna do? Go to walk? Is he gonna go to the police station? Is he gonna I'm gonna go to the police station now? Yeah, I surrender. Take me in. I don't know. He might. Who knows? But yeah, still annoying. There was definitely some problems with the movie, and I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward to this new movie. I'll feel better. Stop dwelling on my stuff. Hopefully, work on this new movie. This new movie will be good and way better than this. And when Venom comes back, please God, I hope Venom to come back. I hope he works really well. And what I would really like is him to get his own movie. Okay, you got the Batman movies. You know what? You need something. Yeah, you got the Batman movies. The Iron movies are pretty good. But you need something dark and mysterious. And guess who that could be? Venom could be dark and mysterious if you wanted to, and a force for good because you have to fight Carnage later. So yeah, that'd be great. I'd like to see that. So if you excuse me, I'm gonna go clean up this mess my cat made. And hopefully they'll clean up the mess that these movies made. Clean up the mess that this movie's made. So see you later.